Gentlemen, it is a special day today. We are doing the top 10 plus one honorable mention, so technically 11 cars that are cool and fun to drive for less than $4,000. And why is that so special, you may ask? Because it's part 4 of a multi-part series that we got going on, where I will give you 10 cars for under 1,000, 2,000, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 20, 25, 50, and then $100,000. In every video, they're all going to be different cars. So if you watch all of them, you can get a combined total of 155 different cars. Or if you just watch the first 10 up to 10K, you can get 110, because every video is going to have an honorable mention, 110 cars for less than $10,000 that are still fun. And normally I do videos of like cars under 5K or cars under 3K. We never do it under 4K, so it's kind of weird. It's a little bit of a difference. I want to see how this video does in terms of views. I'm interested to see that. But anyway, yeah, today's part 4 of that. Obviously we're going to keep going up, and I already have all the lists written out. I'm just waiting to make them, and I'm super excited. I love this series. We're going to do this once a year for sure. It's so much fun to make this series and see how the car market has changed since last year. So we're definitely going to keep doing it. But with that out of the way, guys, let's get right into the video. I don't know why I did that, but let's get right into the video. First off is the wonderful, the amazing BMW 540i E39. This freaking dripper, yeah, I just came up with that on the spot. It sounds pretty cool. Comes with a pretty damn good 4.4 liter V8 that makes a very respectable 282 horsepower going to the bloody rear wheels, because this is a man's car. They are pretty much just a better 3 Series BMW, to be honest, in almost every way, but for some reason everybody just looks past them like they're in freaking 8th grade gym and they have to pick teammates for basketball, and I'm standing there. I'm a tall kid too, so it wasn't even like, it was like just more of an insult, you know what I mean? They're just like, bro, you're not good at basketball. It's so annoying. But the E39 is pretty heavy. It weighs in right around the $4,000 mark, so just be wary of that. Yes, it does have a pretty decent amount of horsepower, and yes, it is rear-wheel drive, but it's a heavy little boy, so it ain't the fastest of vehicles. What if you want a more reliable machine, a machine that can get the job done? Yeah, well, look no further than the Chevy Silverado 1500 Cateye. Yes, we are talking about a truck, because trucks are cool to some people, and they want to see more truck stuff, and I'm actually kind of getting more and more into trucks. They're interesting little vehicles. This particular truck comes with a freaking massive 6-liter V8 that makes a very nice 345 horsepower to all the gosh darn wheels, because of course it would, because it's a pickup truck. It needs to go everywhere. If you want to go to the Grand Canyon in your Cateye Silverado, go for it. If you want to squat it, don't. Now, the possibilities for something like this are endless. You can lift it and tow literally everything under the sun, or you can squat it and waste your money. It's up to you. Or you can even build them to be like a super fast truck. Like, there's a bunch of these little like drag trucks, and they're pretty freaking cool cars, man. I'm not gonna lie. But boy, oh boy, we do not talk about the good old Mercedes-Benz enough on this channel, but that is about to change. We are talking about the Mercedes C230K W203. It's an amazing choice. They come with a 1.8 liter supercharged inline-4, making a very nice 182 horsepower for a 1.8 liter. That's pretty interesting. And guess what? It was also rear-wheel drive, so you can drift this thing to the moon and back. However, all good things must come to an end, and sadly for this car, it is a transmission. As we all know, most Mercedes are not offered with a manual transmission, which is kind of the reason that I never really talk about Mercedes, because they never give their cars manual transmissions, and I'm a car guy and I like manual transmissions. But if you don't really care about the whole manual trannies, then they're a good choice. They're fast, fun, extremely luxurious, and not that reliable. But you know what car does come with a manual transmission and is even more unreliable? That's right, you've guessed it. It is the Mazda RX-8, baby. I know you're probably thinking to yourself, Mark, I don't want a damn RX-8. I heard they blow up every like 4 miles, and I get it. I understand it, all right? But this car is more for the guy that's looking for a project. This is not a great first car, because yes, the 1.3 liter 2-rotor rotary engine that makes 212 horsepower to the rear wheels is pretty damn unreliable. Most people tend to just swap the motor with something like an LS, or even just a freaking Prius motor would probably suffice. But hey man, it's a Dorito little spinny boy, and the back doors open up extremely weirdly like a Rolls Royce. You ever see the way the freaking RX-8 back doors open up? It scares me. I don't even know why they had to do it like that. And it has a triangle in the headrest, so that's pretty cool. It's a cool looking car, just not a cool performing car. Back to the reliable world for a moment though, to talk about a car that I love so gosh darn much that it causes me insane. The damn Infiniti G35 Coupe, which happens to come with the same motor that they stuffed in the 350Z, a 3.5 liter V6 that makes a whopping 306 horsepower to the rear wheels. Yes, that is right, 300 horsepower for under $4,000 is still possible in 2022. I know, it's wild. Now, the G35 is kind of getting up there in terms of hype, so if you do want one, I recommend to buy it now, but still, I mean, it's a cool looking car that doesn't break the bank, and yes, you freaking hemorrhoid, they are reliable. Just because idiots buy them and put like the world's deadliest flame tunes on them and then blow their motors, that does not make them an unreliable car. The freaking VQ35 is very reliable. It's just that 16-year-olds buy them and then destroy them. You knew it was coming. We are talking about another WRX because WRX is just such a good choice all the time, pretty much. And this time it is the Blobeye version of the car. The Blobeye is easily the coolest generation of WRX. I do not care if you disagree. Fight me in the comments. It is so freaking cool looking. And they come with a 2-liter turbocharged flat 4 making 227 horsepower, and it was all-wheel drive. Of course, it's a Subaru. They're going to be all-wheel drive. And these cars can literally do it all. If you want to build a show car, go for it. You want to build a drag car, go for it. You want to build a circuit track day oriented car, go for it. But most importantly, these things are the absolute master of the whole rally racing circle. They just do it oh so well. You're not Kyle McRae, so you probably won't, like, you'll probably crash, but do it well, okay? And yes, you do got to be careful of these head gaskets, but hey man, if it blows up, just like K-swap it. That's pretty cool. Like K-swap Subaru, that's awesome. Okay, number 4. Yes, we are already at the number 4 spot, and it goes to the wonderful Volkswagen GTI Mark III. Such an underrated generation of the GTI line. It comes with a 2-liter turbocharged inline-4 making 150 horsepower, and it was front-wheel drive. And sadly, you're probably not going to be able to find a VR6 model under $4,000, but the base model GTI is still incredibly sick, all right? Like, plus, you also get like the best looking GTI to ever exist. Like, there's a reason that this gen of GTI got the Harlequin model, because it's so cool looking. I don't care. Between the Mark III and the Mark IV, I don't know which generation I'd want, because they're just so good looking cars. Now, I will say the Cabrio version of the Mark III is very ugly, and apparently it like is so unsafe in a rollover accident, but that's fine because you can find the hatchback one for under $3,000. Okay, that's pretty damn cheap. This is a list for 4K. You can find it under 3K. But maybe you like the whole tuner world, but you don't want a hatchback. You want a coupe. I can't say I blame you because I'm not a huge fan of hatchbacks either. So go with the damn Acura Integra GSR. Yes, I said GSR is under $4,000, and I will say it again because it's still under $4,000. Now, it's going to be hard to find it under $4,000, but it's definitely not impossible. And once you do find one, they come with a 1.8 liter inline-4 making 170 horsepower, and it was front-wheel drive as well. But in my opinion, these last two options are pretty much the exact same car. It's just personal preference. They're both inline 4s. They both make mid 100s for horsepower, and they're both small little cars that can be tuned up to be supercar killers. They're both front wheel drive. Everything about the Acura Integra GSR and the Volkswagen GTI Mark III are pretty much the same. So if you like the GTI better, buy that. If you like the Integra better, buy that. Alright, so the next car is actually another German machine. The oh so cool Ryan Reynolds probably drives one, BMW 330 Ci E46. The E46 is actually incredibly underrated right now. They are cheaper than the E36 and are better in literally every single way. Like, I'm sorry, fight me in the comments once again. There's going to be a lot of fights going in the comments today with some of my takes, but it's the truth, buddy, okay? The E46 is a better E36. I said it, and it's cheaper. And this model was a coupe too, so it looks super sick. It comes with a 3-liter inline-6 making 225 horsepower, and it was rear-wheel drive, so you know this is a good contender for a drift car too. It's literally, like I said before, I've said it probably like 3 times already before, I'm going to say it again though, it's just a better E36, especially for the price. And yes, I will admit that it doesn't look as good as the E36, but looks don't matter, bro. Would you rather be friends with Danny DeVito or Zac Efron? You know what I mean? Like, Zac Efron, handsome man, but Danny DeVito, one funny dude. Alright, it is time for the honorable mention, and it is one of my car's distant cousins, the damn Datsun 280ZX. Yes, you can find a 280Z for less than $4,000. I know it's hard to believe, but they aren't as wanted as you think. People usually want the 240Z or the 300ZX, but always skip over the 280Z, so they're actually pretty cheap. One time, I actually found a perfect one for only $3,000, and it sold in like 10 minutes. I was like, God dang it. Anyways, it comes with a 2.8 liter inline six, making a very nice 171 horsepower, and it was rear wheel drive. And keep in mind that this car was made in the freaking 60s or 80s, my bad, almost said 60s. So it is going to need a lot of love, and it's definitely not going to be the fastest car on this list, but it looks pretty damn cool. But the number one spot for today has got to go to the Lexus IS300. I talk about this car a lot on this channel, and that's because I have a crippling addiction to late 90s, early 2000s Japanese sports cars, and the IS300 is the perfect example of one of those. Now, it comes with a 3-liter inline six, making 225 horsepower, and it was rear-wheel drive, of course, which, in case you don't remember, is literally exactly the same as the E46 that we just talked about earlier, and they both kind of have the same potential too. Like in terms of like performance, if you want to build both these up to be a drift car, they're pretty much the same. So it's literally kind of up to you, but just like how I just like how like the IS300 looks a little bit better, so I put it as first. But if you like the E46 better, like I said, they're pretty much interchangeable. And yes, sadly, you're not going to be able to find a manual IS300 under $4,000, but hey, man, at least you get to say you have a 2JZ under the hood. That's pretty freaking baller. And you can always manual swap it. It really isn't that hard to manual swap a car. And it's also smart. It's a good thing to learn. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Today was obviously part 4. Part 5 will be coming at you very shortly. I'm super excited to announce my my news, my update for you guys. Also, I think this video is gonna probably be going live on July 4th. So if it is, happy 4th of July, man. I hope you guys are going outside and practicing safe firework distances. Don't do that. Don't do that. Launch bottle rockets out of your anus. You should do that. That sounds more fun. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Das Vidania. Have a nice night.